All right. Do you remember 1969? I do. Some call it the good old days. I don't. It sucked. Dow Jones was at 800. The average income per year was under $9,000. Something called Woodstock took place. Look at these people. You know they just smelled bad. Like a fish's jockstrap. I don't know if they wore them, but they could. What also stunk? Fashion. People actually wore this stuff outside. And they weren't pelted with hot garbage. Basically, the world reeked, but I couldn't do a thing. I was just 5 years old. Here's a picture. I was adorable. But I could do nothing to make the world a better place. So instead, I ate as much Play-Doh as possible. The point is, 1969 was a long time ago, 49 years ago. And you'd have to go back that far to find jobless numbers that are this good today. It's true. Applications for unemployment benefits are now at a 49-year low. That's almost 5 decades long, or what I call one episode of The View. So, all right, easy joke. So, Trump's job numbers are so good, to match it, you'd have to go back to an era when not bathing was considered an achievement. That's what we call good news. And humans like good news, but not all humans.
He just tweeted their meeting in Singapore on June 12th, and we'll both try to make a very special moment for world peace.
Well, you know, good for him. If it works, we're happy for him.
You could just feel Joy's pain when she said that. It's like she realized that wasn't a fart. But there are a lot of humans that don't like good news. They're called wet blankets.
Their release should not be exalted. It should be expected. It is no great accomplishment of Kim Jong-un to do this. And when the president does it, he weakens American foreign policy and puts Americans at risk around the world.
Talk about the opposite of fun. To him, the glass is half empty, much like his skull. So, here we have great news, but many politicians and media hacks, all they see is bad. If only there were a drug to help them.
Unemployment has hit 3.9%. That's good news for the American worker. Coalition forces are set to deliver a fatal blow to ISIS. This is not good.
You should talk to your doctor. You may be suffering from WBS.
What's that?
WBS stands for wet blanket syndrome. When anything good happens, you see it as bad news. News anchors get it all the time.
3 Americans held hostage in North Korea are on their way home right now.
Am I going to die, Doc?
There's no cure for WBS, but thanks to Holodex, you can live with it.
Holodex tricks your brain into thinking every day is the day before a 3-day weekend, making it virtually impossible for you to be nothing but happy all the time.
Unemployment is at its lowest in 17 years, and President Trump deserves the credit.
And we're clear.
That week went fast. Time for 3 days of fun in the sun. Here comes the beach.
Dude, it's only Wednesday.
Almost had me, Kevin. You're a laugh riot. Thanks, Holodex.
Dude, what the is that guy on?
So get Holodex today. Your coworkers won't get it, but we do.
Every day is the day before a 3-day weekend. That is some really surreal. Okay, back to the real good news. It wasn't just a human victory, but a ratings one, too.
It's very early in the morning. I think you probably broke the all-time in history television rating for 3 o'clock in the morning, that I would say.
Of course. Don't you love that he did this at 3 a.m.? Could have been any other time, but he chose then. Why? To tell you that he's always up. He's always up for us at every hour. And if you had Hillary instead, she'd already be out like a broken headlight. Speaking of Hillary, if she were president and had a week like Trump's, how might the press react? But instead, with Trump, you get this. Which is why he had to blow his own horn on Thursday.
We are rocking. We are rocking. Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un. Sleeping Joe. We have great health care plans coming out. They weren't saying Merry Christmas. Now they're saying Merry Christmas again. America is respected again. I have delivered more than I promised. I go bum 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 ba 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 ba.
Oh my God. So is he gloating? Who cares? He should gloat. The rallies are where you get the good news that the media often ignores. It's Trump news, and he's the anchor. Of course, what were the other news buckets full of?
So the lawyer for Stormy Daniels is stepping up his attacks.
I almost forgot about what I was going to talk about, but of course I didn't.
Yeah.
Michael Cohen.
It doesn't seem like he was very good at it. I mean, the money to Stormy Daniels, the porn star, didn't work, didn't silence her.
It certainly is not illegal from what we know, but it looks bad. It has the stench of the swamp, and that stench affects both Trump and Cohen.
Man, these networks are so obsessed with porn, they should be sponsored by Kleenex. Now imagine America as the world's greatest all-inclusive resort with water slides and pool bars and casinos. And where's the media? They're hiding in the hotel room watching TV, and it's stuck on The View. It's weird. It's like the media can't see themselves or even the outside world. It's as if they're trapped, living in some gigantic footprint left by King Kong. Except it's not Kong's footprint at all. It's Trump's. After he stomped on them in 2016. And so they've all fallen in and they can't get up. I fear that if someone doesn't throw them a rope ladder, they're going to end up eating each other alive. Which sucks. I hate cannibals. They're so full of themselves. All right. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so bright, fireflies try to catch her and put her in the jar. Author and TV host Jedediah Bila. He's tackled more roles than Michael Moore's masseuse. Thank you, actor Daniel Roebuck. She's brassy, sassy, and her gaze a little glassy. National Review reporter Kat Toopt. And he keeps his pants up with an asteroid belt. Former WWE superstar, massive sidekick, Tyrus. All right.
Guess it was just my turn, huh?
Jedediah.
Yes.
All this chaos going around, and he's still getting stuff done. How is this possible?
Yeah, because he's actually, I mean, this is what people elected him to do, right? I mean, he was saying some crazy stuff, and everyone acknowledged he had this crazy past, but we were like, we want a guy. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Rand Paul. But still, most people were like, we want a guy that's going to get the job done. And that's what he's doing. And it's hysterical when you watch these videos, because I think the media is so invested in his demise. They have decided that, you know, they went on record and said, this guy's going to be a big failure. He's going to be a big joke. He's a reality TV star.
Yeah.
So when he does well, they look dumb. They look like, well, they weren't paying attention. Their predictions are wrong. So they're invested in him failing, and they don't care that that may mean that the American people actually suffer, that your paychecks will be lower, that our national security might be threatened. So it's fascinating to watch because, you know, specifically with the prisoners that were brought back, that was a story that everyone across the aisle, you know, both sides of the aisle had to come forward and acknowledge this was a good thing he did. but you watch them and they're suffering. They're suffering to say it. And it's so transparent that it lets everybody know that everyone who's been saying the media is biased, they tell you, they show you right in their own face.
It's hard for them. I feel bad. Do you want to see my impression of voting for Rand Paul?
Listen, I still voted.
Yeah.
I still voted, and I give him credit where credit's due. This guy's doing a lot of really good things. This was a great week for him, and I mean, I'm really proud to have him as my president this week, and I'll say that anytime he does something good. So.
All right. Roebuck, what are your thoughts on this week and overall anything?
I thought this was a fantastic week to celebrate being an American. There's a lot of people who talk about how horrible it is to be an American, and I always think, really?
Yeah.
Like we're not the ones holding anyone prisoner.
Yeah.
Like no one's being held against I mean, criminals are being held. We hold them prisoner, and we're all for that, I think.
Yes.
But, you know, disagreeing with the government, we generally let you walk around and we give you TV shows and we make you famous. So this is a great week for everyone who doesn't disagree with the government, who does agree with the government. I'm happy to be an American just like Jedediah.
Kat, in the green room, you said if you could vote for Trump 18 times, you would.
I voted for Gary Johnson.
I know you did.
You didn't throw something on when she said that.
No, it's all breakable.
If I throw something here, it's all going to break.
She's a permanent guest on the show, so she gets treated with respect. I see.
Sometimes. No, but again, credit where credit's due, and it shouldn't be hard to be happy that prisoners are back in the United States from North Korea. It shouldn't be difficult to be excited about that. And obviously, President Trump deserves credit. I know because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I tried.
Yeah, you did. You did try to free prisoners.
I tried, but they never replied to my emails. I said please. I used like the really cute emojis, and for some reason, they stayed there. And you get President Trump in there, and you got to give him credit for doing it. And you know, but people focused all week on saying the world's going to end because we're not we're not in the Iran deal anymore. We're out of it. And I've noticed that they said the world was going to end when he called Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man.
Yeah.
They said the world was going to end when he got elected in the first place. And I, like, keep waking up in the morning.
Yes.
And everything's fine.
Yes.
So I kind of feel like maybe it's not.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I do sense a pattern. He creates chaos, and from chaos comes solutions. I do predict, though, tomorrow you will get a lot of letters from inmates.
Even more.
Even more than usual. Even more than usual. Do you think Donald Trump's past of dealing with, like, unseemly people and real estate stuff and the mob and everything helped him?
Yeah, because wasn't he dealing with a criminal tyrant?
Yes.
In Kim Jong-un?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a wolf, you know, because shepherds don't get it done. But I think it's the North Korea thing is such a big thing, and it's so hard for the other side, and they're looking for anything. Did you, when they finally when they talked about where the place was going to be at, where the meeting was going to be at?
Right.
They're like Singapore, and they're like. I think Don Lemon said Singapore loosely translated is Asian Russia. Like they literally were trying anything. You know, isn't that some of the Kremlin's favorite vacation spot? Like they're trying anything
to link
just to ruin something. Like Singapore, horrible hotels there. Can't believe he picked that place.
Yes.
You know, they just really are. They just can't give it to him. But I understand why, because Donald Trump is that guy that we all went to school with, that like had the nice car, had the prettiest girlfriend, and then whenever he gets a straight A or whatever, and he tells, hey, I aced that. You know what, man? I hate this dude because he's always winning. And I feel like that's where CNN's right now. Every time he does something, they're like, come on, just.
Even just the coverage, though, like Stormy Daniels. I mean, this stuff's on 24/7. The job stuff, you can't even find it. Yeah. You got to search for that. It's Trump's rally.
This is one case where I'm actually tired of seeing a porn star.
Really?
All right. Coming, I know, hard to believe.